What makes you cut different?
Cut different.
Cut different.
To cut different. What makes you
cut different?
Cut different. Cut different.
Cut different.
cut different? Cut different.
I'm a cut different.
That's what makes me cut different.
I'm just a cut different nigga.
What makes you
Cut differently. Cut different.
That's what made me cut
What
different.
makes you cut different?
Cut different.
Cut different TV, man, you know.
Cut different here, man. It's cool, man. It's a vibe.
What makes you cut different for real? Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy Sebastian Ryder, and you tapped into another very special episode of Cut Different TV. And we got VA in the building. It's real special because, you know, I'm from NC. VA and NC kind of got a little relationship going on, pause, but you know the vibes. If you from the South, you get it. If you don't, then don't worry about it. Man, we got Domi Dow Jones in the building. What's happening with you?
What's good, man? What's happening?
Man, I'm cool. And you got your own podcast, so I'm like, hold on, let's see. You know what I'm saying? What's it called? Real Talk?
No Cap Radio.
No Cap Radio.
Yeah.
So what is the vibe with that? Before we even get into the music, tell us about No Cap a little bit.
No Cap, we started this in 2020 during COVID, and it started out just me and my boy holding conversations at that time, and then we started getting guests. It kind of grew wings, and now it perceives me in a lot of spaces, you know. So it's dope. We bring different community activists, leaders, different professionals from various fields, and we just chop it up with them and get educated and share with our people. So
I like that.
yeah,
I like that. And so, you know, providing education and sharing perspective to people, in order to do that, you have to have perspective. You have to be educated yourself.
Right.
So let's take it all the way back to the foundations, right? Like, you started writing your own raps at 7 years old, you know what I'm saying? Like, started performing a little bit later in your teenage years. What were the early, like, musical foundations for you? Like, what made you want to pick up the pen and pad?
Well, I think it was just listening to records on the radio, and then I would write the lyrics down, recite them, and then I just started doing it, creating my own, writing my own lyrics, and I just had such a passion for it, and I stuck with it. I found out I was good. It's something I was good at doing. You enjoy what you're good at, so I just stuck with it, and now I'm actually living out that childhood dream from all of those years ago, and it's amazing.
That's fire.
Yeah.
And there's been, like, it's probably safe to say there's been some, like, I don't know, growing pains along the way.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Right?
Two of them.
Like, and so, you know, I know coming up in the era, like, shit, I'm 28, you know what I'm saying? So even me, I remember going down to Miami when I was younger with my pops, and rappers would be, like, passing CDs out and all these things. And, like, I know that you had mentioned that's your era. You know,
Right.
folks coming up here tapping in with you today, you passing out, you know what I'm saying, showing love. What is it like going from that space, passing out the physical CD, connecting with your potential fans in person, to now advertising, running campaigns online? Like, what's the shift been like for you?
Well, I think at that time, passing out the CDs, it was a lot more, it was okay to be humble. You know, you were a backpack full of CDs and passing them out, and people respected that hustle. You know, that was the name of the mixtape, Respect My Hustle. And now it's sort of, you know, it's no humble in this game. You know, you're creating an image online and making that online presence perceive you. You know, so I think celebrity is sort of watered down now, because I was in front of 7-Eleven passing the CDs, and people were asking for my autograph because of what I would become. You know, so now it's like, it's I think it's for the better, you know, because I can reach more people online way faster. It's out instantly. But yeah, just to go through both of those eras is, you know, honorable. Yeah.
Are you one of the people that believe that, like, humility is really, let me figure out the best way to frame this, because the way I position it is, it's good to know your place in a room, know what room you're in, know the environment you're in. But I think sometimes when people are like, yo, be humble, it's like, be humble for what? So I can make everybody else feel better about themselves, not necessarily being at a level that they want to be. What is your perspective on that? Because as an artist, right, back in the day, the struggle was appreciated. That was like a huge part of the game. Like, oh shit, I used to sell. I remember when bro was selling CDs. Now he pulling up in the Escalade on 24s. You know what I'm saying? With spinning rims. You feel me? Like that was the story back in the day. But now, like you mentioned, they're building the persona online. It's like there isn't really any humility anymore because people care about the perception so much. But is that better or worse?
Well, I think just being true to who you are, you know, I think when you're on set making music or whatever, you can, you know, keep it professional, you know, be professional. And, you know, kids want mentorship or, you know, they look up to you. There's a time and a place to be humble. But when you're working, it's work. Keep it professional.
Right. You got to stand 10 toes for yourself if you expect others to stand 10 toes for you.
Yeah, we expect people to be true to who they are as I am. You know, be true to who you are. I don't think you can ever fail being true to yourself. That'll get you far. It'll keep you grounded. It'll lead to the success that you're striving for.
And I mean, I know y'all not in this room right now, but you should have been. You know what I'm saying? You should have been here.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the deluxe record. You know what I'm saying? That got you back moving. You know what I'm saying? After you had took some time away, you went on vacation for a little bit.
Right.
Down in Fiji. You know what I'm saying? So when you got back from vacation, you dropped this record. How come it was, for the people that are seeing it, usually they're like, okay, the deluxe comes after the first project, and it might be a few extra records. But they don't see the first one anymore. They just see the deluxe now. What happened with that? You know what I'm saying? What was the strategy behind that?
Well, I think it's a good thing because the deluxe has 3 extra records on it. But what happened was we hired a marketing company out in London, and maybe not, they were using bots for the streams. So Spotify banned the album. So in order to get the album back on Spotify, we had to re-release it under a new title. So the team and I came up with the bright idea to add deluxe to the title, put it back out with 3 additional records, and 6 months later, it was out.
Right.
So that's the story behind that, and yeah.
Word. And so it ended up being a blessing. But did you, in that moment, was there like a mix-up? Like, obviously, you had to deal with adversity in that, right?
Yeah.
You drop that project, you think everything's going well, the numbers are appearing to be crazy. You like, wait, hold on, this is
right.
And then Spotify's like, nope. Like, how do you handle that moment? Especially, I feel like that's something right now that it's hard to tell what's real, what's not, you know.
It was very stressful, but I'm glad that, you know, the publicist at the time and the producer, we were able to put our heads together and come up with that strategy. And it definitely worked out for the greater good, but it was a stressful time, that obstacle we had to overcome. And like you say, it was a blessing in disguise. And those are things that people don't know. That's what's happening behind the scenes.
Right.
It took 6 months to really get that out. But yeah, it's like the project's out, but it's not on the #1 streaming platform. We had to fix that.
Right. Like when you fall off your skateboard and scrape your knee or scrape your elbow up or get hit in the face, now you got a black eye. That's like visible pain. But sometimes the growing pains happen internal. You know what I'm saying? Like when you going through those little growth spurts.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? You getting taller, whatever it may be, your knees hurting all of a sudden. Y'all been on the growing pains journey for a minute though.
Yeah.
Growing Pains 2 has arrived.
Right.
We feel the energy. We feel the vibes. You know what I'm saying? You dropped a record talking about picking cotton. You dropped another record talking about Sojourner Truth.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might not be hip to the history.
Right.
But walk me through some of these records. What made you want to lead this project that's been long awaited with those 2 records?
So just as the interesting thing about it, Growing Pains 1, every title of every song is 1 word. Growing Pains 2, we decided to put every title 2 words. So it's very unique titles, and I think they're intriguing. Like, what is a record like Picking Cotton about, or Sojourner Truth? So I think to add that onto it, and Growing Pains 1, Well, both Growing Pains are very lyrical records. Growing Pains 1 came out in 2020. Of course, we both have grown a lot in those years, and Growing Pains 2 is sort of the part 2 of what happened between 2020 and now. So it's bridging the gap, and I'm just excited for the people to check that out.
Right.
Yeah.
I rock with it.
Yeah.
And the Pickin' Cotton record, I'm not gonna let you just skate away from that as quick as you just tried to skate away. I was like, what was her name? Christy Yamaguchi? We're not gonna do that because before we started the interview, I'm like, yo, what's the record that everybody should listen to? You like, man, that Pickin' Cotton record.
That Pickin' Cotton
So
record.
tell me why that record is that? Because I know you dropped the Sojourner Truth record first.
Yeah.
And that was, more commercial, whatever. Might have stuck more, had more of a catchy hook.
Right.
You performed that on Cut Different. It makes sense.
Right.
But then the Pickin' Cotton record, what about that do you think is going to resonate with people outside of just the title being, what it is?
Well, the fact that it's a vibe. It's a jazzy feel. It's family friendly. The fellas will love it. The ladies will love it. And it's true to me. That records like that is the therapeutic sessions. That was the first song that we recorded for the Growing Pains 2, the first video that we actually recorded as well, just being so excited about it. Just one of them records you can't miss on. It feels good. I love it. It has gotten me through a lot of tough times. It's a lot of inspiration in it. It's a story in it. It's a dope record. It's definitely my favorite off the album.
Okay, I'm a little more satisfied with that answer.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that. Hopefully y'all can take some. Hopefully y'all can take something away from that. And we're not even gonna get into Growing Pains 3 because that's down the way. We're gonna let Growing Pains 2 seep in. I want to talk a little bit more about your relationship with Black Ceasar, producer. Y'all came up here together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have came up together. What's the importance to you of finding a collaborator that understands you as an artist, and also, what is that balance like between producer and artist from your experience?
Well, I think it's dope. I think it's the more conversations that you have with the producer, the more you get a idea of the headspace they're in and what their vibe is like, and vice versa. So I met Cease when I was 17. I was just a kid. They brought me to the studio, and the rest is history. We just never stopped making music. And he's always the one hungry. He produced something and like, yo, I need you on this. And I'm always open to do it. And we actually had a falling out from the Growing Pains 1, just different things we were going through, and just the creative process. But he was dealing with a lot at that time, so was I. And now we've reconnected and came up with a masterpiece here. So I'm grateful. I'm thankful to have my brother, man. Yep.
Man, we got Domi Dow in the building, Dow Jones. But I learned something new though. The Dow is just your first name, middle name, last initial.
Yeah, those are my initials, D-O-W.
C spilled the beans earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
But now y'all know. You got to subscribe for that.
No doubt, no doubt.
Man, but we got Domi Dow in the building, bro. So last thing I'm going to ask you. So for artists that are watching this right now, obviously you've been in the game for a while. You've been pushing, making great music. You talk about the importance, right? Like y'all met at 17, or you met him when you were 17, and y'all been working ever since. Yeah. There's been some highs, there's been some lows. That's how relationships go. But what is some advice to a younger artist that is trying to find, they see Drake has OVO 40. You know what I'm saying? They see Ye had Travis Scott in the beginning. They see all these connectors, Jack Harlow, DJ Drama, like all these connectors. What would you say? What advice would you give them when finding a collaborator?
I would say test the waters. Be open to collaborate. But the thing about it is, me and Cease, when we collaborate, we have a certain sound. So that's a sound that you can't get anywhere else. There's other producers that I work with. We may have a sound, that you can't get anywhere else. So I say be open to collaborate, but don't always, be I guess, open to create a new sound. You know, be open to create a new sound and appreciate the sound that you and that chemistry you and that producer has. So, I mean, whatever floats your boat when it comes to music, but I do think you have to, you know, shop around and test, you know, make as much music as you can and see what works.
Right. All right with
Yeah.
that. Hopefully y'all got a pen and pad, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I don't. I got to keep everything up here. But, man, I hope y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully y'all like, comment, and subscribe on this video, man. We got Domi Dow Jones in the building. And, damn, I think we had Cut Different TV. What you think of the neon? You like
Man,
it?
I love the neon, man. It's a great aesthetic.
Yeah, what does that mean to you? When you read Cut Different, what is that?
Cut different. I think that's just being unique. And I think the best way to do that is to be who you are. There ain't no one else like you, you know. So
Right.
definitely cut different.
That's crazy. That's an interesting way to put it. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious though, like, what makes you cut different, Domi Dow?
Man, I'm cut different because I'm the only Domi Dow Jones out there, man. And I'm very passionate about the craft. And I think people will appreciate the honesty in the music, in the person, the character. It's not a facade. This is truly who I am, and I'm not afraid to display that. So that makes me cut different. No cap.
Honesty, authenticity,
Yeah.
realness,
Yeah.
humility as well,
Yeah.
which is great. I love it, man. Man, we got Domi Dow in the building. It's been a pleasure. Y'all came all the way from VA. You
Yeah.
feel me? Y'all flew in, flew out. I wish I could do shit like that. That's player.
Man, that's how it be here lately, flying in and out.
If I
same
fly
day.
somewhere, I got to be there for like 2-3 days because that's just,
I would love to.
you know, but you got to move and groove. My man said they got 6 hours of production in a couple days.
Yeah, that's Monday.
I love it, man. That's a Monday. Man, we're going to get Black Seas in the building, man, and learn a little bit more about the production and the sound behind these Growing Pains records and the whole trilogy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sitting down, and hopefully this won't be the last time.
I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Hell yeah.
Love.
Man, we back again. We just had Domi Dow sit down with us, and now we got the man behind the music, you know what I'm saying? The man behind the sound that sounds like it's gritty, and you can't really identify it unless you know who the man is himself. We got Black Seas in the building. What's good with you?
Hey, chilling, man. Appreciate you having me.
Chilling. I rock with it. You got a lot of red on today. You got a lot of rings, a lot of accessories. You know what I'm saying? What's up with the jewelry, man? What's the jewelry mean to you?
I'm flashy. I didn't start wearing jewelry until like my mid-30s, and the older I get, the more I wear. It's just a flashy thing.
It's a representation of self.
Yeah.
You feel me? And we're going to get into the Growing Pains trilogy. We're going to get into the foundations of you and Domi. But also, we was just vibing on WWE and wrestling. But you probably had what? How long you been watching wrestling?
I've been watching wrestling since the 80s.
So like WWF, right? Or like
WWF,
WCW?
WCW, old TNA, like
TNA, damn.
yeah, NWA. There was an NWA, not the group.
That was like
wrestling.
when they
AWA.
went dark. That was like Hulk Hogan. They was all wearing black and shit, right?
Well, that was the NWO.
NWO.
But like, no, there was an actual federation called NWA. That's like back in the day, wrestling was territories.
Mm-hmm.
So you say you're from Carolina. I used to love going to Carolina because I could see Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen.
Right.
But I couldn't see him until I went to Carolina.
Right, because he was in the Charlotte.
Yeah, he was in the Charlotte,
Right.
yeah, in that area. So
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I've been watching a lot of wrestling shit lately. They just did the new joint where they like pulled the veil back and talked about the production.
Yeah, I ain't checked it yet, but yeah, that's something I got
cool.
on my thing. I'm gonna
It's
watch.
cool because they got like the gorilla stuff. They got like where, you know, all the wrestlers be like, yo, we did everything for Vince, da 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 da. They broke down the whole element of how all that worked. But the whole reason why I'm even bringing WWE up is because you got the Dusty Project.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
All
And-
platforms right now.
Right, and Domi is on that project as well as two other artists too. So talk a little bit more about that record and the foundations behind that.
Dusty is a production album. Domi kind of changed my course on it because when I did it, I said I'm just gonna put all beats on it. If you listen to my sound, you know what I'm saying? It, like you said, it has a grittier sound.
Right.
Back in the days, you used to drop that needle. I had a dusty sound. For me, it was a way to incorporate my love for music, my love for wrestling, my love for sampling.
Right.
And he actually heard one of the beats on it. He was like, yo, I got to jump on this joint. And I was like, okay, we'll see what you do with it. So what that did is it opened the gate up. Another artist that we both have collaborated with, Ceasar, he dropped a joint, and then I had an old song on there with a artist that I work with, Mike Walker.
Right.
So three joints with artists, but the rest of it is all instrumental joints.
Word. And so I don't think I've ever had a conversation like this with producer, but when you put out an instrumental project or a production project like that, is the goal for those beats to get picked up and placed, or is the goal just to create a soundscape that
is a goal to create a soundscape, just to
Okay.
get things out there. And they're becoming more popular now because now, like, you have chill hop, you have, you know what I'm
Right,
saying, all
right.
of that, where people just listen. So I figured it was an opportunity. I had done a couple in the past, but I was like, yo, this is a really good time to do it now because there's actually a niche for it now.
fire? That's what's up. And so do you create like playlists as well on those platforms where, because I imagine when you bring up like chill hop, you mean like when y'all probably been on YouTube and you're chilling, you put on like music to study to, music to vibe to. It could be like lo-fi hip hop.
Yeah, lo-fi,
shit
yeah,
like that.
definitely.
Is that kind of the vibe you're on?
I would say it is a little lo-fi, but extreme. Like that, like I would say that's kind of my production style, extreme lo-fi. Because I do like use the low ends, like, you know, from like Tribe and different producers back in that dealer, they use a lot of low end. So my production uses low end, which is, yeah, I guess, yeah, extreme lo-fi.
I rock with that. Extreme lo-fi. That's a new genre. You
Yeah,
just
new
created.
genre, yeah.
On Cut Different TV. What do you know?
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? Fire. So let's talk a little bit about the Growing Pains 2 project. You know what I'm saying? And I know that y'all were working on that for a while. There was a big gap between the first one and the second one, and hopefully not as long for the third.
Yeah, ain't gonna
But
be long for the third.
and Domi had mentioned y'all had some ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? Y'all were dealing with personal things. We men, shit happens. But what do you feel like over those 5 years helped you, build that sound, and what did those ups and downs allow you to?
Well, I think well, I'll say what it did allow us to do is it allow us to grow, which created new content because I had been away from them for a while. You know what I'm saying? And when we got back together, we had an opportunity to talk. There were situations. So when we went back to the studio to go back in, it was like we had a lot of content, just based off of what we had been through from the first one,
Right.
going into the second one. And the way we got there, like, it was interesting enough. He was going through some stuff I didn't know he was going through, and vice versa when we
Right.
were working on one. Whereas men, if we would have had just talked about it, and a lot of times men, we keep everything surface. We talk about sports, maybe women, that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just surface level.
Right.
But we didn't talk about what was going on with him. He didn't know what was going on with me. And it wasn't so much that we had a falling out or anything like that because of personality or anything like that differently. It was like I was frustrated. If it brings me stress, I got to fall back from it.
Right.
And at that time, when we was dropping Growing Pains 1, it just felt extra stressful. And I'm just like, I'm going to fall back from
Right.
it, which was good. You know
And
what I mean?
that's and that's like a metaphor to the project. Like y'all have been
Exactly.
working together for over a decade. It's
Absolutely.
like, okay, there's growing pains a little bit.
Exactly.
But the project that came from that was a masterpiece.
Exactly.
So walk me through the soundscape. I know storytelling and being that the beat is the infractions. There's like the constant or like the X variable or whatever that shit is. I don't know. I'm not a math major, but you know what I'm trying to say. The
Yeah,
common denominator, right? The thing that's in every fraction. The music here, the sound. When we listen to these records, there's that. It feels like a tape is in the background, is playing. And we only hear that sound in a few different places. Walk me through that soundscape.
Well, the soundscape, for me, like I said, is just it has been my style of production. I have not changed my style of production in 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, equipment changed, but that aesthetic that I'm looking for doesn't change.
You
but
feel it. It's got
yeah.
texture.
But when we are doing things, me as a producer, I'm not just a beat maker. Like, I like to sit down. I like to have a conversation. I like to have an idea of what we're working with. I want to tell a story. So when we came with the Growing Pains theory, we had already planned in the beginning we were going to do 3 parts. What we didn't know, like, we sat there and we had a plan. We said we're going to do 3 parts, but we didn't know that life was going to happen the way that it did. But when we were apart and then we started working on a new one, I'm talking to him every day. I'm like, yo, I got something new for you. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? And we've earned that trust amongst each other where I could put a record in his hand. He might not even like it, but he trusts me as a producer to say, I know that you can see, you know what I'm saying?
You can see something I don't.
You can see something I don't.
Right.
And he always runs with it. Like, we got this one joint, if you check online, called God's Power. It's a single, one of my singles that I just put out. But when I first gave him that record, he did not like it. He was like, yo, Ceasar, I don't know what you want me to do with this. I heard it. I was like, oh, my gosh, this joint, like, yo, you knocked it out of the park. And, you know, everything comes full circle. Later on, you know, he started going to the same church as me, and he performs at that church. Crazy.
Wow.
You feel what I'm saying? So everything's full circle. Everything
comes
happens.
full circle. Right. 360 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I rock with it. So what is next for you guys collaboration wise? I mean, obviously y'all traveling, y'all on the road, y'all pushing this project. You know, what can we expect from you moving forward? You've been doing the same production for 30 years. We're going to hear more of that.
Yeah, we definitely going to hear more of that.
But what else can we expect?
Well, definitely we're going to get to that Growing Pains 3. Y'all will hear that. And, I mean, just because we always do collaborate, whenever I drop my next project, you'll hear them on that and vice versa. Like, we always going to work. It don't stop. It ain't stopped in almost 20 years.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So for somebody that's not from VA, somebody that isn't from the South, and they don't really understand how we get down, what does the VA music scene sound like for you right now? Who do you know anybody that's bubbling, that's coming up, that people should be on the lookout for?
Definitely, like I said, collaborative that we both work with, cat named Saya. He's dope. There's also a third collaborator on both Growing Pains. Mm-hmm. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say his name, Pete Twist. As a producer, when we go in, I'll pick 2 beats from Twist, so that way there's not a monotony on the project, and it's always the perfect records. If you go and check, Black White is one of the videos we dropped on there, and Twist did the beat on that. So definitely Twist. But yeah, Virginia, as far as sound go, is melting pot. You're gonna hear a little bit of everything.
Right.
So,
who, in your opinion, is the biggest to come out of VA?
The biggest to come out? Well, I mean, we'd have to say Pharrell. I mean,
you think Pharrell bigger than Breezy?
I'd have to say so. I'd have to say so, and not because Pharrell is a producer, but you have to think at one point of the game, Pharrell. 60% of the Neptune's production was on black radio. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Chris Brown does not have a Happy.
Or are you saying 60% of black radio was Neptune's production?
Exactly.
Got
Something
you.
that was written, produced, or them on the radio.
More than half of the records.
More than half of the records. So, yeah.
They created a sound.
They definitely created the sound.
I got you. Okay, well, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And Pharrell, I mean, Pharrell's a genius.
I mean, Happy. Like, that's Happy.
Yeah,
There's no song bigger than Happy.
Right.
So.
Right. And there's not a song that you could play if you sad that's going to make you feel the emotion, the name of the record, like that record.
Exactly.
You might get tired of it after the first hook, but that's all you need.
Yeah.
Word.
For sure.
I rock with it, man. Well, it's Cut Different TV. So what makes you cut different, Black Seas?
I'm gonna say, well, I like the old definition. I'm cut from a different cloth. Like that's like you hear a lot of old guys saying that. So with that being said, I'll say that I am cut from a different cloth. I am gonna always be unadulterated me, despite what anyone thinks. You know what I mean? Like I don't care what someone thinks about me. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's bad, but at least it's truth. A lot of people say that's my biggest thing is I'm not scared to say anything, and I always speak my truth or truth. So
I like that. If you going, what do they say? You got two ears and one mouth for a reason.
yeah, I'm starting to learn the one mouth thing. I am starting to listen more and talk less.
Right. And when you do speak, it's the truth.
Exactly.
Or else you're going to fuck around and be the boy who cried wolf. Don't nobody want to be that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Well, we got Black C's in the building. We had Domi Dow join us as well. Appreciate you coming up from VA to show love to Cut Different, man. And y'all go check out that Growing Pains too. That Sojourner Truth. You know what I'm saying? That Picking Cotton as well. And then also go check out the Dusty Tape. And if you studying, you hustling, you riding around, you meditating, shit, go ahead and put that on and relax. Get your mind right to some extreme lo-fi.
Yeah, we coined it today.
We coined it today, man. It's a blessing. Till next time. Appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of Cut Different TV.
Peace.
Hit that big red button that says subscribe under whatever screen you're watching this on. And if it's recommending another video for you, that's probably because it knows you a little better than you think you know yourself. See y'all next time. Peace.